lane 8, Zach. Across the 10 years here at the Torian Pro, and they are underway. James Hargraves of Bill. We talk about pacing. How do you approach this first run in the first event? How do you get your nerves under control to put yourself at a
strengths? Because if you're trying to keep up with the fastest athlete out there and running...
Great shots out the back of Pat Rafter Arena. 26 minutes as Monahan pulls now. Monahan finishing 8th last year in the first event. Probably what you want to be doing consistently.
Winning every event, you need to be consistently up there and stealing points. Two of our top men have already punched tickets to the CrossFit Games. So those that are going after those second 2 tickets really just need to be consistent.
Mentally.
It's just time to get out there and get ready for the games. Practice. Get out there, get...
There is a lot of prize money, and the mantle for the persons who get the 3rd title. 5 of our athletes in the field with 2 wins at the Torian Pro. Monahan getting underway first. You'd expect most of these athletes in the field to go 10 unbroken bar muscle ups. Lago Widaldas in the blue and white, very smooth uprise. Monahan will be the first to pick up the cyclone bags. And 91 kilos, an odd object, as we have seen previously at many other Torian Pros. Something you probably didn't want to see first up.
Yeah, 91 kilos out in front of your center of mass. Very different to having that weight on your back and back squatting it. Very tough on the grip, on your diaphragm, and on the quads.
Jack Monahan with a 3:35 first kilometre. Very decent pace and battling it out. The 2 West Australians back out on the course already. Zane Shelabere-Healy with him. Hargraves and Widaldas leaving just at the back in the blue and the whites. To Shader, Brazilian from Sydney, heading out as well. Now, an event like this, you've torn your pec, you come...
Certainly starting with a lot of running and an aerobic workout. He must be feeling confident with that. Holding on to that heavy sandbag out in front, though, may not be very comfortable for.
All our results will be on competitioncorner.net. And Zane just letting Jack know, hey, I'm just here, I'm not going anywhere. You come back into a stew for you mentally just to get ahead as you come into your next round.
Oh, it's everything mentally. If you can get one up on your competition, not only physically but mentally out there, it's everything. It's going to put more pressure on your competitor to step up and match what you've just done.
Zane Shelabere-Healy on the left, Jack Monahan on the right. Your 9th and 10th place finishers from 2024. Hargraves, who finished in 30th last year, comes in. Zane quick to pick the bag up. He's got a shorter range of movement than Jack does. Both athletes not having any drama whatsoever with this cyclone bag.
Both athletes doing a really good job of keeping that chest tall, not falling forward too much, making sure that they're keeping that pressure off their posterior chain and lower back coming into the run.
As Zane Shelabere-Healy, Jack Monahan leave the arena. Lago Widaldas, the blue and white, and James Hargraves continue their bar muscle ups. Navarro Teixeira comes in. Lago Widaldas the blue and whites to the far right of screen. The Argentinian. CrossFit to Luca. Again, one of our taller athletes. Zane threw the gauntlet down last night and said he wanted to give Ricky Garard something to chase. Ricky doing extremely well here last year. One called Alfred. Hargrave starts the incline. I ran the incline yesterday. It's not as bad as it looks. And the weather clearing just a little bit for the third round of our first event of the day. Thank you for joining us if you are on the international.
You said really dominating in this heat, throwing down an epic time for people to start chasing. Time for the boys to chase. I want to go out hot and try and make the boys chase me. And I think that's exactly what Zane is doing with his heat as well, taking a leaf out of Ricky's book.
And you know, as an athlete, sometimes being in this first heat can be a bit of a curse, putting out the time to beat. A lot of the athletes will push to be up in those top heats so that they're not getting their time beaten. But it's important for Zane this weekend to put out a really good time, steal himself some points.
It's funny, isn't it? They'll just chug along nicely and doing what they're doing, but if they see a time to beat, oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, the race is now on. But Zane Shalabeer-Healy pulling ahead and still looking very comfortable. This pull for the bar muscle-up's probably going to be a lot easier on that pec than things we're going to have to do when we go to rings or something very similar to that.
That's right, he's not having to tend with a moving straps like we see on the rings. The bar obviously not moving, he just has to move his body around the bar. It's going to be a lot easier on that pectoral muscle.
Zane showing that great full extension at the top, leaving no doubt in the judge's mind. I don't think you'd want to be doing too many more of these cyclone squats. Oh, things are tight. Jack Monahan, just the buckle over.
Zane just looked so strong getting out of the bottom of those squats. He wasn't hinging too much of the hips, and then he's gotten straight up into that run. It doesn't look like his posterior chain was in too much strife.
Well, training with partner Grace Walton, it's going to hold you in good stead and make sure you know. Hargraves just ahead of Wildaldis. Teixeira in the blue and black. And Zach Thomas about to finish off his cyclone squats. Alec Leach in the white shirt, just finishing up his third set of bar muscle-ups. And the pace has slowed considerably. Jack Monahan's first run has slowed to about a minute.
And these athletes are very strong on their bar muscle-ups.
Wildaldis only about 5-6 meals. 2 events per day. Cyclone Alfred that hit earlier in the year. Some carnage coming the way of the athletes after this first event. Our first day of another look over the shoulder. They're getting in and getting those first reps done. He's been working hard. Only 20 down, potentially 21 and a half minute finish. Monahan, 2 reps behind.
You can see the reason why Zane was chalking up so early in that run. He knew he was going to have to get straight up on that bar.
Jack with a larger range of movement on the right-hand side with no shirt. Trying to catch our leader, Zane Shalabeer-Healy, and what a comeback. No room for error. Doesn't need just a fast time, he needs to make sure he places first in this heat. Jack moving fast. Zane, the bag slipping slowly. The final rep, Zane Shelabere-Healy, welcome back to competition. Oh, and Jack was one short. And he could have pushed Zane to the end, but a good result from Jack Monahan as well. Big breath. Jim in the gym. Finishing 33rd. CrossFit Games Open in Australia.
And every one of those bar muscle-ups looking exactly the same from start to finish. High hips up to the bar, doing very little work with his arms.
Dallas just pulling out those knee sleeves up. He wants to push Hargraves all the way to the end. Hargraves getting that bag extremely high. That is going to help his squatting position and keeping his torso upright.
You can see he has very little movement forward with his torso, staying upright, keeping that bag up as close as he can to the chest.
Hargraves with plenty of time in the kit bag. Largo Wadaldas finishing up as well. 4 of our 8 athletes home already. Zach Thomas will be next, and great to see Zach back in competition. 2 great redemption stories from this first heat. First being your winner, Zane Shelabere-Healy, from that pec tear. And Zach Thomas. Great finish from him. Teixeira with a no rep. Athletes briefed last night on the expectations.
They're not allowed to rest that sandbag on their legs at any point. So not only having to make sure that they're reaching depth with their squat, they've also got to be aware of where they're holding onto that sandbag.
Teixeira getting done, 24 and a half. Felipe Chardonge, Alec Leach, our final 2 athletes on the floor. So Monahan's last run, 4 minutes and 40 seconds. Only 5 seconds slower than his third. Felipe with under 60 seconds. And Alec Leach, possibility of missing that time cap, breaking up his final muscle-ups, but Chardonge doing it easy. Felipe is all finished up with his 4 rounds of Alfred, the first events of the Torian Pro 2025. Monahan will run out of time, but he will finish his bar muscle-ups. And Leach running out of time. Shelabere-Healy making a statement. He is not Leach. Great to see so many of them, but he did finish in 2nd position. Luke De Jong is going to... Underway, heat number 2. Our first events of the Torian Pro 2025. It is Alfred. And our athlete in 3 years in his knees. Tori's right quad, he has had it all. He's finally back healthy, and he has only got one thing in his sights, and that is a CrossFit Games ticket you mentioned earlier on. Two of our gentlemen.
Serious battles though, very impressive to see him back out.
Pressure stations going into that final event, but Pete Ellis just hanging on to book his 21:13. Do you then set yourself some goals?
Time is set. You can stick to your plan, and if there is room to push faster, obviously that's always the goal. If you can move faster, move faster.
Lockie in a team in 2023, CrossFit Geo Star Strength. But he's got a very busy time on his hands, the youngster. Benny Garard in the blue tank top. Back in competition once again. Thor Heinel, great to see him back, another West Australian. One of our taller athletes, well over 6 foot, gets started. That tape line you see just to the left of Lockie's hand. The point where the athletes can't cross over, making sure they have got their lane to themselves. Lockie coming in a 3:45, Thor in 3:50, Benny Garard in 3:52. I spoke to Ben Garard this morning, and he said we're gonna roll it all the way back, and he goes, prepare to be entertained again. I said, rightio.
That's one of the things I love about the Torian Pro, is that it just brings back how many athletes out there have been out there for 10 plus years. There is so many of them, and they keep coming back for a reason, because it is one of the greatest, and we're biased, not the greatest comp there is to do, just for the vibe alone.
It's a lot of athletes that have come out here in previous years. We've had Rich Froning, China Cho, Tasia Pasevich in 2019. They were blown away. Then it becomes a sanctioned CrossFit event. Qualifies what the Torian Pro's got to give, and it's got to give so much. I know broadcast-wise, there's a number of broadcasters around the world who clamour each year to try and get down here.
You can really, it can get away from you.
About to turn the corner to come back into Pat Rafter. Sometimes gets you into a false sense of security when you've got a big lead. You've turned the 500-metre mark, and you know exactly how much of a lead you've got. Filthy missing out because he knows how good a competition. Thor opening up his own gym with partner 10 in the previous year. And there he is. One of those athletes that doesn't find the bar muscle ups a challenge at all. Lockie Park on the far left of screen with that good uprise position. You're in a position like this, you're getting 2-3 rounds in. You do the uprise motion where you're going to a pull and then a push straight away, or are you resting on top of the bar a little, as Thor is doing in the all black and center screen?
All the athletes are going to play to their own strengths. As we're seeing, none of them are breaking this set of bar muscle ups up, so they're going to use whatever technique they can to stay on the bar and get them done.
I'm not sure what's happening, but we've got so many of our West Australian athletes leading the charge. Jack Monahan's, Zane Shellabere-Healy, Heat 1, Heat 2. We've got Thor Heinel and also Isaac Newman now in the mix. Lockie coming in, that last run was 4:05. A very steady time. Can he maintain? Seems like Thor, Isaac Newman at top of screen in that white tank top, heads out. Lockie just shaking those arms out. As we head towards
System.
Now, I'm not sure if I'm going, is it really what I think it is? And for those of you who don't know what a cyclone squat is, it's you're standing upright and blown bag. So it's a lot easier. So those of you who haven't heard what a cyclone squat is, now down by Thor Heinel. And our teams, we've got so much to bring you right throughout our 3 days of broadcast. And every single division will be here on the competition floor at some stage throughout the weekend. Our Masters kick things off this morning, followed by our teenagers right here in Paline. Does that give you a little bit of a boost, running that little bit of a downhill incline, or decline on the way in as you're coming through each round?
Definitely. Just a little bit of momentum to Lockie's running is that even though his face might show that it's hurting, his body doesn't show when he's running that it's hurting. He's still so nice and upright and looks so smooth.
Gemma Ashworth, third member of our team, is on the field of play. And what can you see from down there, Gemma?
Well, as you said, it is a final battle just to get through this last kind of round. And as I said, Lockie's looking very comfortable. We have all of our judges here making sure that they're hitting every single rep. Volunteers from the community really championing those people behind the Torian Pro as well. It's an epic atmosphere. Looking around, it's really, really filled up in the last couple of hours. Honestly, the workforce of Brisbane are all here. I don't know where everyone is.
Everyone always takes Friday off, don't they?
Must have an IBO.
I mean, I would take Friday off if you're here at the Torian Pro watching this go down. You don't want to miss it. We've got a little bit of an overtake coming in as well, so maybe this atmosphere is really going to kick up.
It is going to help Thor Heinl, one of those athletes who missed out last year, and he doesn't want to lose the opportunity. 3 rounds now completes. Thor Heinl has paced this perfectly. The final round coming.
Thor having the advantage of being that bit stronger and faster on the Cyclone squat, really just straight. Lockie just struggling a bit with that last set of Cyclone squats, almost breaking it into 2 movements, a squat and then a good morning. That weight out in front just really dragging him down.
And as Lockie Park just sent it a little bit too hard, too much in that red zone. And then you get to the point where you've really got to pull it back.
I wouldn't want to be getting chased by Lockie
now. The West Australian contingent, they're not here. Seen so far is Luc de Jong still battling away with that. And for some, a very easy movement to get through. For some others, extremely difficult. Samble, one of those athletes just struggling a little, and we've seen over the years Andrew Samble with that little bit of a back injury that's hampered him from time to time.
Yeah, that sandbag, run 1,000 meters as well. It's really going to hurt.
So as an athlete on the floor, you're squeezed
back into position. It's just extra effort, takes so
excellent. So Thor's last 2 runs, 4:15 and 4:38. I'm expecting this to has been in the lead. He's probably hurting way more than you are.
He still looks nice and relaxed and in control.
Heinl just sucking in as much air as he can. Shake those arms out. He's got the grips on. And Heinl, 21:13 now, time to beat from Zane Shellabere-Healy. I think that is going to be safe and proving to be a great time to get things kick-started for our competition here. Do the athletes get sucked into a false sense of security? Well, at this point, Thor knows he's ahead by a fair margin now. He's not going to be caught. Does he ease off a little and totally forget that there were 2 other heats?
Certainly not. Still heats to come. He also needs to put out a good time to beat. Cannot take your foot off the pedal at all this weekend, because as we've seen over the years, anything can happen.
Judge ensuring that Thor Heinel's standing to full extension before he starts. As you mentioned, Pip, on that third round, Thor with that upright torso, almost coming backwards. So efficient.
See, he's really trying to hold on for dear life onto that bag too.
Heinel, 22.03 unofficial. This is going to be a great battle.
Now Lockie's really going to need to hold on to this bag for all 10 reps if he can.
Josh Demersness joining Isaac Newman at the far corners of Pat Rafter Arena. Isaac Newman won't have any trouble squatting this regardless of his heights. He's probably going to overtake Lachlan Park in lane 2 as well. Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, we've seen it before. Isaac Newman probably bit off a little bit too much early on, and it's come back to bite him, but a great finish regardless, finishing in 4th position. Athletes busting to get over that finish line. Millennia finished. De Jong, the far left of screen in all black. Carney, he's finished. Riley Martin in center screen with the blue and black. Another athlete won't have any trouble squatting that weight. De Jong finishing up as Lees makes his one from proven. His partner Tamika competing at the Far East Throwdown this weekend. 3 other competitions going on this weekend. Time. The sample will need to move. Aaron Sebia finishing. Another one of our US athletes getting out here to experience the Torian Pro for the first time. Jack Jeffrey, local boy here in Brisbane, out of CrossFit Torian. Samble will run out of time to get his cyclone squats done, but will get his bar muscle ups complete. Thor Heinel there to greet him and congratulate him. Another epic heats. Thor Heinel, unofficial time coming in. This is our heat 1. Our time is Alfred. Referencing Guy Melhera. Our 3rd heat of the individual competition for the Torian Pro Games. Twice already, once in 23 and once in 24. But Bailey Martin, where did you come from?
I don't think Bailey's going to let it.
Throughout the weekend, he has the chance to go to the games. The rain that has been falling earlier on, subsiding. Thankfully, the lower body. So all the rain that is on the road currently, that's going to dry up when they come in.
That's right, and we haven't seen from the previous heats really too many issues with the rain on their bodies. Time consuming.
I had a chance to have a chat to Tia as well, and she's doing little bits and pieces with her training, and she just goes, it's not like just training for the games. Games stuff's easy to do when you're adding some endurance, some cardio, stamina elements to your rep. You like that? Ricky Garard's wanting that 3rd title. Bailey Martin, a little bit of space back to him now. But this battle, 1 and 2. They've had so many great battles over the years. Now Ricky going the uprise positioning where he's just going pull to push. And Jay Crouch just hinging a little bit as he pushes into the top end of that bar muscle up. Let's head sideline to Gemma Ashworth.
Well, yes, there is definitely a battle up here for 1 and 2, but Pete Ellis actually gets to the bar third. As you remember from last year, he had an ongoing battle with Luke to bag his tickets to the CrossFit Games, and he's here and he is hungry to get it back. And so they're now moving on to the cyclone squats, and Pete is there first, closely followed by Bailey. This is going to be such an exciting heat, but we are only in round 1. We still have 3 more rounds to go.
There's a reason we call him Sneaky Pete. And I think we're going to see a lot from Sneaky Pete this weekend. It's going to be very exciting. No surprise, though, that we have Ricky and Jay back out in front. As for who's going to take those next 2 tickets, that's where the real battle is.
What is awesome to see as well is we obviously have our previous champions out on the floor as well. We have Swanee here. Both of them have also won Torian Pro twice each. And it is a battle to see who is going to get that 3-peat.
Jeremy did ask.
Brandon Swan has done it all from the male side of competition.
I believe it was Ricky.
It was Ricky Garard who's currently leading. A very young Ricky Garard back then. Liked, but something he's going to have to make up over the course of the weekend, a challenge for one of those 2 qualifying spots to the 21-13 you're now chasing. Athletes just that stubborn front here. They've got no pressure. They've already qualified for the CrossFit Games, but they still are that
ahead of the games. It's something that you just cannot do in training. You can only do it out in a competition. It never gets easier. It's always there. The pressure is always there. The nerves are always there, but that's a good thing.
For the games as well and competing here in the Masters division, that, hey, the nerves, doesn't matter how old you get, the nerves are still there. Ricky Garard's on his way in his first run, 3:39. Much slower than that either. Bar muscle ups before Jay Crouch gets onto the bar. Pete Ellis just ahead of Bailey Martin. And it looks like our 2 leaders, Ricky and Jay, look so much more comfortable. Just from a physical perspective. Pete Ellis qualifying for the CrossFit Games last year. He doesn't want to be a one-trick pony either. He wants another ticket back. But our leader, Ricky Garard, a very composed and relaxed Ricky Garard yesterday, the first time I've seen that in a while.
I think we're seeing a very relaxed and composed Ricky as well during this event. We have seen him over the years come out of the gate really hot in event 1. He just is one of these athletes that's not scared to put it all out on the line in event 1. He's already got his ticket, but he is not going to let Jay take the crown this weekend.
This is going to be an incredible battle. All of our official competition results, make sure you head over to competitioncorner.net. Pete Ellis now trying to cut down that time between himself and Jay Crouch. Ricky surges ahead. The Malheras done, as is Khan Porter and Dante Karangaroa. Brandon Swan, the far left. Pat Rafter, top of screen is
and looking incredibly strong with that cyclone sandbag. Just so upright.
In spades. We're at this point now where we are an official qualifying event for the CrossFit Games once again. One of those gentlemen who has already qualified is way out. They're just more consistent for Ricky Garard. Seconds from run number 1, and the gap continues to expand. Another CrossFit Games coming the way of Ricky Garard. Jay Crouch, is he going to be doing enough to hold out a very fast finishing Peter Ellis? Ricky Garard, and just like a piston, just in a really good rhythm.
He's just having no trouble with that sandbag at all. It hasn't budged off his chest in that position. And you can see that in his squat form. He's staying upright. He's not having to hinge over to get out of the bottom. Making quick work of 10 reps.
So Ricky only losing 15 seconds from run 2 to run 3. Run 4 commencing now. Pete Ellis. Okay, so Pete's made up about 5 seconds on Jay Crouch. I don't think it's going to be enough to jump Jay Crouch. But you never know what happens. I've seen crazier things happen here at the Torian Pro. Hiko Tarangi Curtis in contention now, jumping ahead of Bailey Martin. And Pete Ellis heading out the door. Your top 3, Ricky Garard, Jay Crouch, Peter. We've noticed over the last 2 heats, a little bit of physical fatigue starting to creep in with some of our...
They're both very comfortable runners. You won't see the fatigue really. Pete also very comfortable, and for him,
seen a number of times at the CrossFit Games, Pat Vellner not doing so well on the first event and having to pull his way out of that with only... You really don't have the opportunity, as you found out during regionals, you don't have the opportunity to drop a single event.
mentally as well.
Your 2 leaders, Ricky Garard. Things getting tight. Just bother inside Pat Rafter Arena.
Any extra reps of those is really going to add to the fatigue.
The bag is going to be doing your back no favors.
It's very unforgiving on the lower back, especially if you can't keep that sandbag in a good position. As soon as you start hinging over and the weight drags you forward, it's all the pressures in the lower back.
Fleming just trying to keep that torso upright as much as possible, ease the pain off as Ricky Garard will start his final set of 10 bar muscle-ups. As you mentioned previously, the final reps looking exactly like the first. Now adding a little bit more of a tricep extension into those bar muscle-ups. 10's a very comfortable number for these athletes.
Oh, very comfortable.
Now, keep in mind, Zane Shellabere-Healy's time, 21:13. He could take the fastest time for event number 1. Ricky is going to have to push hard. He'll be looking at the clock. He'll know exactly what he has to do to get under that time. The final 4 reps for Ricky Garard. Another look to the clock. Ricky Garard's an event win to kick things off. Pete Ellis jumping into second now. Zane Shellamere-Healy with the second fastest time so far. Jack Monahan will look like he may get the third fastest time. Yes, he will. Pete Ellis doing exactly what he needed to do to start competition, and he knows it. Jay Crouch. As Jay finishes up and will head over the line. Hiko Tarangi Curtis. From Thor Heinel as well. Hiko wants some love from this raucous Torian Pro crowds.
The speed of those squats.
Hiko.
Making easy work of them.
Third place at the CrossFit Games of 2021 in the 16-17 division. Hugh Mihalos will be heading down the floor shortly, the Cyclone bag. The only thing standing in the way. Jack Fleming in the background, not looking in good shape at all. Ben Fowler needs to get done in the next 30 seconds. Malheiros, much to the delight of the crowd here, getting done 23-23. Great to have him out here and be part of Torian Pro 2025 as Ben Fowler will finish 23-35. And that'll put him just ahead of Ben Garard from heat number 2.
Here comes Brandon Swan, you legend, mixing it with the young guns.
Said he's just out here to have some fun. Not a chance. You're a true competitor.
In a very respectable time as well.
No doubts, Sunmate will be watching along. Go Dads. Karangaroa will be next to finish. And only 90 seconds remaining. Manzi. Khan Porter will get finished. Connor Smith coming as Karangaroa finishes. Khan looking very smooth on this last set of Cyclone bag squats. As Manzi qualified here for the CrossFit Games in a team a few years back. Khan Porter has emptied the tank totally. Connor Smith is in. Royce Dunn. 40 seconds remaining. Royce Dunn. 30 seconds left on the final 2 reps for George Regas. Bailey Martin coming in now. Bailey Marks and Jay Crouch rounding out that top 3. James Hargraves is very good upside, looking to build on that performance. Athletes get underway. As you mentioned, Pip, 4 strict handstand push-ups at deficits. And then 2 cleans. To Shader off quickly, lane 2. Now talk to me about shorty bars compared to conventional bars.
The short bar is the same length in the middle, but the ends are chopped off, to put it in simple terms. So where you'll see in a normal Olympic length bar, where the ends where your plates go, where the collars go, those have been chopped off and they're a lot shorter. So what we're going to see as the weights progress, not so much on these first few weights, it'll look very similar, but as the weight gets heavier, a shorty bar becomes very hard to lift. It feels a lot heavier because the bar doesn't bounce as much as a normal length Olympic bar. It's like catching dead weight in the bottom of the squat.
As you would expect, 2 different components, weightlifting and gymnastics. We had a lot of monostructural. In event number 1 earlier on today, Alec Leach. These athletes won't have much problem at all. Zane Shelby-Hill in the background going through a power clean. Trade-off, power clean, squat clean, to prepare yourself for a squat for the heavier loads. What's the process here?
We're going to see most of these athletes probably opt to power clean these first few sets. Save the legs for where it counts.
Lago Widaldis, far right of screen. The first to move his barbell on. Athletes using that transition well, not rushing to get to the wall. Teixeira would probably be the only one.
Managing the fatigue with strict deficit handstand push-ups.
And taking plenty of time, which isn't a bad thing either. Only 2 reps provided for each weight as the athletes progress down the competition floor. Interestingly, going from power clean to squat clean. The impressive thing about Alvaro Teixeira is these handstands.
He's so strong upside down. You can see his hips are stacked over the top of his shoulders, making his press very strong. He's not arching his back and pushing away from the wall.
The load's getting a little bit heavier. ...138 kilos. Dallas, his handstands, he's very stacked as well. You would have gone through this in your CrossFit Games career as well. Some events that really drag the life out of you, and some you've just got to try and control your heart rate and your breathing, such as this one. There's no one in a rush because the loading on the barbell is so heavy, and the skill, the deficit strict handstand is so difficult.
Well, that's right. It's an event that's mixed with high skill and heavy lifting, so you really can't move further out of what you're capable of doing, because otherwise you're going to end up going to failure and not moving anywhere. So you really have to stick to your own lane and do what you can do. And if that means breaking up the handstand so that you're not getting any no reps and going slower on those weights, it's smart.
You notice a number of athletes adjusting their plates. Is that a delaying mechanism because the plates really aren't moving that far out that it's going to worry you too much with the barbell balance. It's just something that they use to delay to maybe recover a little bit more.
And I think it's to make sure the plates are on properly. That's competition experience right there.
To Shader. Oh, I can hear the effort that's going into every single one. And kilos. To Shader. His handstands have been impressive. .32 strict deficit handstand push-ups. The volume is up there. 161 kilos. 354 pounds. Is our last barbell on the floor. Widaldis going for the 156 to Shader. The far end going for his 156. Oh, hello. That one's got a little bit on it.
You were talking about pacing through this event before, and for a lot of these athletes, they're coming up to close to their 1 rep max after lifting all that volume and doing all those handstand push-ups. So this is why they were taking their time a little bit earlier on. Smart.
Zane now gets this. He's in the lead. Oh, hello. We'll just go and reassess. Oh, Widaldis was so close. Is that... Much better from Teixeira. But he steps up now. Much better from Largo.
So much faster under the bar.
Aldis. Yes, and takes the lead now. Important for Teixeira in the next 20. He's going to have to sprint down. Oh, and he's in a hurry. He'll probably get all 4 done in 10 seconds. And pulls level with Largo. Teixeira and Widaldis. Teixeira, that was it. Our lane assignments for heat number 2. Our second heats for event number 2 underway. Strictly business. Dijon. Interesting.
That the strict deficit handstand push-ups is something that you could come unstuck on in this event. Very smart to break them up early.
Athletes having to.
I agree. Well, I think we saw that earlier with the running. We have athletes that go, yes, give me a run, and then athletes that go, oh my God, I have to run.
Now, as an athlete, is transitions something you practice? Loading barbells, getting prepped for the CrossFit Games. When you went for those 2 years, is that something that is part of your...
Important as the sport has progressed and grown. It is something that you need to practice, because we see a lot of rookies that come out that aren't used to a competition atmosphere, and they're not used to having to put their bar a certain place, stand behind a line. They're not allowed to move things as they normally would in their gyms. But you come out on the competition floor, you're not allowed to move the boxes to where you want them. They're there and they have to stay there, and you have to stand in certain spots. It can mess with your head if you're not used to it.
No surprise to see Max Lee's Joel Molina currently leading our second heat of 5. Dijon still progressing with his single reps. Lockie Park. So 2 of our taller athletes in lanes 1 and 2. Javier Arancibia just pulling into view as well. Middle of the night over in the States. Hopefully everyone has got up. Part of the Wollongong gang that train very well together. Zach Thomas, Luke de Jong are in there as well. John Molinia. Leaves another to dye his hair blonde. Jack Jeffrey just on the outside. And Molinia, he'll be first to move. Three of our short-statured athletes.
Now, as this event progresses, my eye is going to go to Jack Jeffrey. He's very, very good upside down. His deficit handstand push-ups are beautiful. He's straight up and...
Coming second at the CrossFit Games in team competition, that's not too bad either.
Not too bad at all.
And a little bit of a hustle on from Jack Jeffrey. Just getting back to the bar first, giving himself a little bit of extra time for transition. Five minutes down, 6 remaining. Jeffrey, almost a power clean and then wrote it down. Now, another good weightlifting question for you. How long do you rest between these sets of 2? I really like that Mike Towner has put in 2 reps, not just 1. You got to back up what you've just done. Jeffrey going for his second now. How long's too long?
Seeing Jack starting to grind a bit. I think too long, it really depends. Do you want to...
Oh, Jack Jeffrey. You mentioned it on his previous round. It hasn't changed, which is exactly what you want your body position and your body movement to do, is not change over fatigue levels. Here first. But Jeffrey, first one to attempt the 156. There is lots of time on this clock.
And you can see with Jeffrey, he's a weightlifter, so he's...
Yes, he does. Molinia, his turn. 156 kilos. Newman. Surprising.
We were talking about this event yesterday, and we were saying how it's almost like with a normal bar, doing a clean, a pause squat in the bottom, and then standing up.
Oh, Jeffrey, yes. Pressure now on Max Lees. And the jog. Yeah, Max Lees, well done, great lift. I'm not sure what that pause was halfway up. Don't put yourself under any more fatigue than you need to. Jeffrey done with his handstands already. He'll be on his way back for his final 2 lifts at 161 kilos. 354 pounds. 3 minutes, plenty of time. 1, you've got to ensure you finish well, but you need to make sure you don't miss any reps either. Loading the final 2 plates on. Here comes Max Lees as well. Newman successful in the background. The final 4 handstand push-ups for Isaac Newman to then come down and lift the barbell for the final time. And Sebia in the far left of screen, failing that one. Jeffrey will be first to lift. And Max Lees has got to be careful here and not get too excited. He just has to finish. Jeffrey gets one. Oh, he's pumped. Lees, can he respond?
Oh, yes, he can.
Remaining to finish. Fails it. Newman. Lees, no. Newman, good. Attempt. Too far forward. Who loves a heavy barbell. Every experience different. And you just put it in your kit bag. Very smooth, rhythmic from Riley Martin, and no surprise to see him power cleaning the first barbell. 225 pound, 102 kilos. So we know Riley can move the barbell extremely well. So what he's going to have to work on is the transitions back to the handstands.
Heavier. He's taking into consideration the fact that it is a shorty bar. It's not as forgiving as a normal length bar, so having to take that rest when you need it before attempting the weight.
And you mentioned before we had Jack Jeffrey with a very good position in Heat 2. We've moved all the way back to Heat 1. Alvaro Teixeira had the same positioning as well. If you can nail that, this is probably going to be a really easy event for you.
There's a 6-inch deficit on the strict handstand push-ups. It's hard on the shoulders, so if you don't have good form upside down, you're going to be putting more pressure in the shoulders, which is going to make the pull and the front rack a lot harder.
Phil Heinel. Thor's handstand push-ups to the far left of the screen. He's doing a very slow eccentric movement in the handstand. Martin still well in control of our third heats. We have got 5 heats of our males before we move into our 5 heats of our females. Still. 138.
Gone and giving himself plenty of time for these last few heavy bars.
Starting to slow him down a little. Carney good with his. So that third and fourth handstand, Lee Martin. 323 pounds. Benny Garard flanks by Liam Ford, Brandon Gaskell, Riley Martin. The top of screen now, center of screen. This weight doesn't look like it's like anywhere near his max.
The length of the bar doesn't look like it's bothering him at all either.
But he seems to be like the first athlete. 4 lifts left. 156 kilos, 390 pounds, easily done. I thought he would
not giving that short bar any time to come crashing down on him.
Smooth. 2 lifts remaining. Both taking plenty of time, and that hip position.
The athletes are not allowed to rest their lower back or lower body on the wall.
Great call from the judge. And that is a pure sign of fatigue when those hips start dipping into the wall.
He's really trying to get that chest in there to help him out.
45 seconds. Swing from the rafters. Give Heat 5 something to chase. crowd really getting behind Riley Martin now. Again, you mentioned a bit, that receiving position is now the last one. Easy does it, Riley Martin, 7:27 away. Gaskell, oh, maybe getting a bit of cramp on these cleans. Liam Ford good for one.
Could normally get with a normal length bar. Just waiting for the bounce that doesn't happen. It's brutal.
Black. Nice lift, Will Carney. Liam Ford now, final lift. Oh, didn't catch it well, but manages to finish that one off, 9:30. Thor Heinel sneaking away in the centre. McElhaney trying again, bottom of screen in the green shirt. Better lift this time. Carney goes. Carney on the right. Gaskell on the left, and again, as does Dante Karangaroa. Peter Ellis. We rewind the clock back to the final event last year when he had to bring it. The pressure was on. And a simple mistake from Pete, not rolling his bar here, where the barbell just got too heavy, but he's had 12 months of preparation. Coach Matt Riley.
It probably works in his favour because a lot of the athletes that traditionally are good with just making it feel that bit heavier, it's those heavier weights.
Easy power clean. Pete Ellis going through that full squat clean. Just to the left of picture, Dante Karangaroa. Easy power cleans as well. Pete Ellis, after making that simple mistake early, his bar far right of screen in the maroon shirt, green shorts. In the best shape of any competition he said he's been to in the last 5 years. Curtis moving back. Can he take on his countrymen and try and beat the 7 minutes 27 from Riley Martin? Two complete opposite physiques. Pete Ellis, Dante Karangaroa. It's all going to come down to the next 8 minutes.
And you could just see on the screen then Pete Ellis, he didn't have as far to push in his handstand push-ups. Both athletes, really great form upside down, but just not having as far to go makes a difference.
Squat from Pete looks very good. The other side of that raft arena, Iko Tarangi Curtis, power cleaning still. Dante just Robert Smith, top of screen in the blue and black, successful with his. And Jack Fleming makes his way back. Khan Porter finishes. Iko Tarangi Curtis still power cleaning. Easy done, 100 and power cleans. 323 pounds. Great squat from Pete Ellis.
I was literally about to say exactly the same thing. That was a very nice lift from Pete Ellis. He has been putting in the work.
You can just tell it's smooth. torso position's good. Are we going to see a squat? Are we still going to go to power? We finally squat at 156. Don't tell Jack Fleming, but I just stole your chalk. Hiko, second. Hiko at the top of the screen. We just missed him. But Hiko successful with that. Pete Ellis. Great first day for Pete Ellis. Picking back up another top 5 finish here.
Pete Ellis giving himself plenty of time on the clock as well. We know the deficit handstand.
Hiko, left of screen. A little bit too much in that one and stepping back, but successful. Pete Ellis, can he go smooth? Ooh. I reckon Pete will address the bar first. A little bit early for Pete. Hiko, one of his best lifts of the weekend so far. Woo! And the two Kiwis will reattempt. The final minutes, Pete Ellis. Oh, he's close. Dante, successful. One to go. Regis trying to get out of the hole.
Final lift. It was his best lift of the whole event.
To be anyone's game. Final heats of the male competition for the first day here at the Torian Pro. Ricky, Jay, Ben, our first 4. Royce Dunn in 5th. Funny, in an event such as this one, you've already got your time to beat, but it is more of a management of fatigue versus racing the clock scenario.
It's a little bit of both, especially for this top heat, but in an event where the barbell is increasing and you have the added variable of it being a shorty bar, so the weight feeling heavier, you can only lift what you can lift. You can't worry about what other people are doing. As we
Harris lifting heavy barbells is just his 129 kilos done. Ricky done with his 129, as is Jay Crouch. It's funny, you get to that halfway point of the barbells on the floor, and it's like, okay, the event starts. Gee doing it easy, lane 1.
Yeah, he's still making easy work. Power cleaning the bar, 138. For his handstand push-ups, no problems at all. What we will see as the bars get heavier is athletes like Royce Dunn, who are a little bit slower on their strict deficit handstand push-ups, but these...
Gee well in control. The battle for second continues. Ricky just ahead of Jay. Ben Fowler moving his barbell forward. So easy for Guy.
More of these bars is Guy going to power clean.
expected nearly all but the last one. He'll probably... Oh, it's just a big playground. He wants a little bit of love from the Torian Pro crowd. Oh, gee, still power cleaning. 156 kilos. 343 pounds. You're kidding.
The second one was better than the first one.
Riley Martin, oh, this is crazy. And his transition time has sped up as well. Ricky ahead of Jay. Ricky Garard blowing a little bit hard as Jay Kraut. The magic hands of Guy Malheros. Oh, stop it! No way! The maestro is here! You are kidding me! Ricky is good for one. Time on his side, he's still got another 30 seconds until we hit that time from Riley Martin. And gets it done easily, Ricky Garard. Oh, yes, sir, the Prince of the Pacific. Ben Fowler is good for one. Royce Dunn is done. Come on. Another two. Yes. Now. Brandon Swan, Rogan Dean. Oh, Swanee, he's got time. From all of our men in our fifth and final heats. Ricky Garard, Jay Crouch, still